there seems to be one word in this week's Torah portion that almost obsessively repeats itself from the beginning until the very end, and that is the verb shamar, keep or kept or safeguarded. And this is the role of the Israelites. If we look in Leviticus and other places, there's a feeling that the role, or what the essence, or what makes one a Jew, is the root badal, differentiate. You differentiate between milk and meat, between holy and mundane, as the Lord does. And this week's Torah portion seems to be teaching us how you are able to do that, meaning what does a Jew need to do in order to really succeed in that job. And essentially that is where this word shamar comes into play, this word to safeguard. What do we need to safeguard? What does it mean that you are meant to safeguard the Sabbath, safeguard or keep the mitzvahs? Why not just say do them? What is the difference between doing and shamar? And I found three interesting interpretations scattered around this week's Torah portion. So one of them is the Rashar Hirsch. The Rashar Hirsch, right? Whenever you have a verb, you always have to first go to 19th century Ashkenaz, to Germany, see what the Rashar Hirsch had to say. And he says shamar actually means here to learn. The only way you're able to safeguard something, the only way you're able to keep something is through constantly learning what it means, which makes sense, because if you don't understand something, how can you really safeguard it? To a certain extent. So that's one aspect. Then we have Rabbi Yom Tov Lipman Milhuysen. Lived in the, I think it was 15th, 16th century, earlier. Around then he writes a great book called Sefer HaNitzachon, which is a commentary on the Torah, which essentially is a big Christian bashing a la Torah. And he says that in this week's Torah portion, and if you gather he doesn't talk about Shamar so much, but essentially he says this week's Torah portion is all about there is a commandment to know your God. Meaning the way to safeguard commandments, the way to be a Jew, you have to understand who your Lord is to the best of your capability. But the one I love the most, it's just so picturesque, is Ibn Ezra. Rabbi Avraham Ibn Ezra, it's beautiful. So there's a verse that says, again, using shamar, just make sure, take care of your soul, of your spirit. And Ibn Ezra says, if you're going to forget everything, you're not going to remember anything, implying that shamar is about remembering, then don't ever forget what happened on Sinai. That there was a Sinai. It's almost as if you're annihilated, you're thrown to the four corners of the world, you remember nothing. Just remember that, and through that you'll always be able to work your way back. Thoughts on Shamar and the Torah portion of Veit Hanan by three great commentators. Shabbat Shalom.